Judge Frank Caprio, known to millions as the soft-spoken, empathetic face of Caught in Providence, has passed away at the age of 88 after a courageous battle with pancreatic cancer. His death marks the end of a truly remarkable era in American justice, not because of groundbreaking legal rulings or landmark cases, but because of the immense humanity he brought to the courtroom. Over the years, Caprio became a global symbol of compassion in a system often viewed as cold and unforgiving. He served for nearly 4 decades on the bench in Providence, Rhode Island, earning the nickname America's Nicest Judge, not through any PR campaign, but by simply treating people with dignity, humor, and grace. Born in November 1936 in the working-class neighborhood of Federal Hill in Providence, Caprio grew up in a modest Italian-American household. His father, an immigrant from Italy, worked as a milkman and fruit vendor, instilling in Frank the values of hard work, humility, and community. These early lessons shaped his entire life. He was the second of 3 sons and recalled growing up in a cold water flat where his parents encouraged him to dream big despite their limited means. He worked as a teacher before becoming a lawyer, attending law school at night while teaching high school civics during the day. That combination of academic knowledge and lived experience gave him a unique ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Caprio was appointed to the Providence Municipal Court in 1985 and went on to serve as its chief judge for decades. However, it wasn't until Caught in Providence started airing that his personality and approach to justice began reaching far beyond the courtroom's walls. What began as a local television broadcast became a viral sensation when clips of Caprio's courtroom decisions started circulating online. His interactions with defendants were unlike anything seen before in televised court shows. Rather than confrontational exchanges or performative punishments, viewers witnessed heartfelt moments where Caprio asked about people's lives, why they were late on parking tickets, what circumstances led to their violations, and how their families were doing. Many times, he'd listen with a soft smile and conclude simply, "I'm going to dismiss this fine." There was a striking emotional intelligence behind his rulings. In one memorable clip, a single mother explained she was struggling to pay a parking ticket because her son was undergoing cancer treatment. Caprio not only waived the ticket but also offered words of support that visibly lifted her spirit. In another, he let a small boy decide his father's fine, turning a stern moment into a lesson in kindness. These were more than courtroom gimmicks, they were acts of restorative justice wrapped in decency. The videos became social media gold, gaining hundreds of millions of views and transforming Caprio into an unlikely global celebrity. His court videos reached audiences in the US, Asia, Europe, and beyond, proof that empathy is a universal language. The fame didn't change him. Despite his celebrity status, Caprio remained rooted in his Providence community. He often said he was just a neighborhood kid who got lucky. That humility was evident in how he spoke about his work and his approach to people. He believed that the justice system should serve the people, especially the vulnerable. He frequently advocated for better access to legal aid and fairness in sentencing, noting that many low-income Americans face civil issues, from eviction to healthcare disputes, without legal representation. He saw his courtroom not as a place to flex power, but as a space where compassion could be just as important as the letter of the law. Caprio was also deeply involved in philanthropy and education. Inspired by his father's early sacrifices, he created scholarships at Providence College and Suffolk University Law School, aimed at helping students who aspired to serve underrepresented communities. He never forgot the help he received in his own journey and made it his mission to pass it forward. Outside the courtroom, he supported numerous community efforts, from food banks and youth programs to immigrant organizations. His generosity was consistent and personal, not just ceremonial. Even as his health declined, he remained engaged and transparent with his public. In late 2023, Caprio shared a video announcing his cancer diagnosis, thanking fans for their prayers and support. He underwent radiation treatment and returned in early 2024 to ring the symbolic bell marking the end of his therapy. His last public message came just a day before his passing, when he once again asked for prayers, revealing that his condition had worsened. It was a moment of quiet vulnerability, and true to form, he faced it with gratitude and grace. Caprio is survived by his wife of nearly 60 years, Joyce, 5 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. His son, Frank T. Caprio, is a former Rhode Island state treasurer, and the Caprio family remains a fixture of public service in the state. The outpouring of love and tributes following his death has been overwhelming. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee ordered flags lowered in his honor, and thousands of people, from celebrities and political leaders to fans around the world, shared their admiration online. Many described watching his videos with their families as part of their routine, calling him a beacon of hope, a true gentleman, and the kind of judge the world needs more of. Though he held no federal bench, Judge Frank Caprio arguably had more global influence than many national figures. His approach to justice transcended bureaucracy. He didn't issue sweeping reforms or overhaul legal codes, but his small, everyday choices rippled into the hearts of millions. In a world saturated with division and cynicism, he reminded us that fairness doesn't require fury, and that a little bit of understanding can go a long way. His courtroom, a small, unassuming chamber in a modest Rhode Island building, became a moral stage for a modern audience. There, he modeled how to lead with the heart without abandoning reason. His gentle questioning, frequent laughter, and quiet wisdom made each case feel personal, not just for the people standing in front of him, but for the millions watching online. Whether addressing an elderly woman who parked illegally for a medical appointment or a young man late on a ticket due to job stress, Caprio always asked the same question: "How are you doing?" And he meant it. Judge Frank Caprio leaves behind more than a show or a legacy of rulings. He leaves behind a philosophy of life and leadership, that kindness is not weakness, that justice is not vengeance, and that people deserve to be seen, heard, and understood. The legal world, often criticized for its rigidity, was a little softer and a lot more humane because of him. He didn't just interpret the law, he interpreted people, their needs, their stories, and their humanity. In the end, Judge Caprio became a rare kind of public servant, one who bridged generations, countries, and ideologies simply by being himself. As Caught in Providence fades into television history, the lessons from his bench endure. He once said that he hoped people saw his courtroom and realized that we can dispense justice without being oppressive. He succeeded, and in doing so, showed us all how powerful kindness can be when practiced with consistency and courage. His was a life of grace under the robes of the law, and it will be remembered.